Well, if you don't mind, I guess
Sure, go ahead.
we'll kind of officially start running through.
Sure.
And I guess the first thing I'd like to say is I'd like to just immensely thank you and Nikki and your whole team for agreeing to allow us to exhibit your work.
I think it'll be
in our
really,
gallery.
it'll be really interesting.
I've been a fan of yours for well over 30 years. I was just asking today, when was the CBS Sunday morning feature? And that was in the early
94, I think.
Yeah, around the early 90s. And before that time, must have been before that time that I was to your gallery for the first time in the
gallery,
Big Cypress Gallery.
It opened in 93.
93. So that must have been about then. My parents wintered in Naples. They found out about it, and I came down to visit, and they said, "Oh, we gotta go there."
Well, it's a lot of people in Naples don't go past Clyde Boulevard.
Yeah. Well, my folks are outdoor people, and their motto in life was work hard, play hard, and we fished, hiked, hunted, fished.
I can tell from the photographs.
Yeah, yeah, and we love the outdoors, and we love boating. You love boating. I drove Coast Guard boats for 23 years, but I got or 33 years, and I got a love for boating because my parents, we pan fished as little kids on boats with them, and then they eventually got a 24-foot boat, and we were salmon fishermen when I was in junior high and high school, and so
I've had 24 boats.
Yeah, and you brought one of them all the way across the country to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've even built your own boat, right?
3.
Built 3. Yeah. So and lived on them. So
about 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, the Flicka, we lived it, I think about almost 2 years on that one. On a mooring.
On a mooring.
No water, electricity.
Yeah, you gotta love it, right?
It's a 20-foot boat with 4 people.
And you gotta have a family that loves it too.
I know, you can sit on the head and cook.
Yeah. That's great.
You can live your life right there.
So a lot of people describe you in various ways, but the one that always stuck with me was the Ansel Adams of the Everglades. But as I've come to know and study your work more, I kind of go more with the Ansel Adams of all Florida's wild places. Right. Would be kind of more accurate description because you've shot lots of wild Florida.
Oh yeah.
And
well, one of the reasons I think is the tone range I can get my prints. I think that's what people really look between Ansel Adams and my work as a tone range, and that's not easy. To get a good black, a good white, and all the grays. And I'm finding that I think digital is even harder. People think digital, you just print it. No. I usually probably make 6 or 7 prints before I even get close.
So,
on black and white, you can't correct your monitor for it. There's no corrections. You can kind of want to get close, but what's the density you want? What's the contrast, burning and dodging? But one thing I finally did though, I started digital, trying to do digital like you're supposed to. That didn't work.
Yeah.
So I figured a technique exactly like the wet darkroom. Like you do this for burning.
Yeah.
Same way in digital. That.
Finger puppets.
I use probably things that most people don't use. All burning and dodging is done with gradients. And particularly if you shoot in black and white, there's no recovery for highlights. There's absolutely none. With color, there's usually either the green or the yellow or the blue picks something up in the highlights.
Yeah.
With black and white, if you miss it, it is gone forever.
Huh. It'd be like shooting slides. If it isn't there, it isn't there.
Very similar to slides. I never shot slides in my life.
Didn't you? No.
I thought that was the stupidest thing. Everybody shooting slides.
Yeah, I shot them for a lot of years.
Because I did all my own printing.
Yeah.
So I shot all color negatives.
Yeah.
So I could do my own printing.
Yeah.
And I could do my own birding and dodging, just like I did in black and white.
Wow.
The slides that's a no-no. Gosh.
Yeah.
You have to be a good photographer to shoot slides.
I think I got pretty good at it.
That's the problem.
But when it comes to digital, this guy Brad is much more adept.
But, you know,
he's like, Dad, I don't believe you did that again.
Well, see, it's shooting negatives. You can control contrast by exposure.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with slides.
Right.
It's either right or wrong. And I never wanted to be a good photographer. I wanted to be an artist.
Yeah. I would buy at the beginning of every term, every year, not term, but I'd buy one of your calendars and I'd buy an Ansel Adams calendar. Like both big calendars. And then I'd tear those pictures off, and on one side of my classroom wall, I had all Ansel Adams shots. And then here was our workspace, and on the other side over there, biggest wall of that, all yours.
Mm-hmm.
And the students would come out of the darkroom with a print.
Say, well,
We'd be looking at tone of values and whatever, and I'd say, well, is it starting to look like that? Or is it starting to look like that? Well, if it's not, don't you think you need to go back in there? You know?
That's good.
You know?
A lot of
You know?
classes use my work calendars for that.
So I want to go for a minute
Okay.
to your accomplishments. You know, you're recognized as one of America's greatest landscape photographers in many circles. You've received all these prestigious photography awards and conservation awards. And I'm just wondering which of those you're most proud of.
Conservation ones.
And I thought that would be your answer, but tell us why.
Well, because okay. We're from California. And I started my photography in California.
Mm-hmm.
Ansel Adams, Everett Weston, Wynn Bullock, the group. And when I first saw Ansel Adams' work, I've come a long ways. It was in 1962 in his gallery in Yosemite. And I saw pictures of redwood trees. And I said to myself, why would you photograph a redwood tree unless the tree was for sale? Why would you photograph a tree? And I said, for lumber, not for a picture. And then I saw how the whole environment was being destroyed, particularly the redwood forest. They're relatives to the cypress trees. It was kind of the same feeling. But you're standing at a tree that's 330 feet high, and it's 1,500, 2,000 years old.
So, just to go on to something else for you is, I've read a lot about your background and of course your architectural background, but something led you to go there. You had a sense of design probably as a child. Is there something there, or did you not know it yet?
In high school, I built a business desk that I'm still using.
Ah, okay.
I built a 16-foot boat in high school.
Yeah.
I worked for a cabinet shop.
Oh.
So my dad was a sheet metal worker, so I helped him put in ductwork.
Oh.
So I had a lot of physical experience. I didn't have any design experience, but I had a lot of hand experience. And I was going to go, when I went to college, I was going to be an industrial engineer.
Oh, okay.
And I saw these guys do these pretty pictures, and I said, I guess that's more fun than industrial engineering. And fortunately, I hadn't had any experience in high school in drafting. So I couldn't delineate. I was really shit at delineating.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
One of the things you have to
Which
do.
was very common in that era. Lots of my classmates took drafting. One of my best friends.
I'm not drafting, but
Yeah.
when you make a pretty picture of your project.
Yeah, but you
When
did it differently.
I couldn't do painting.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into in the photography, was making models
Hmm.
and photographing them.
Yeah.
And I was making them half-inch scale, so I could put real people in them. And my whole point of view when it was in the architecture was to get to feel like you were there. Is what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So I really learned the technique I'm doing here under model photography in architecture.
Ah.
That's how I think I learned. Because also that when some instructors are good and some aren't, but this one I had, he told us how you see. You know how you see?
No, how do you see?
What angle of view you think you see?
Oh, what angle of view?
Yeah.
Okay. 50 degrees.
4.
4.
That's it.
Oh.
You perceive a lot. You only see 4.
Wow, that's very.
So when I make my pictures big, you can't see them. And people think, now wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Seems contraindicated.
So you have to scan them, and that gives you the feeling of being there.
We wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for your son Ted, and there's been a lot of stories about that, but I wouldn't want to not ask you.
You know the story about
How that? Yeah.
the power pole.
Oh yeah, and the T and the
T1 1786.
1786. I read that again in Nikki's book.
Yeah, that was Nikki about lost it when she saw that.
But it was like the Cypress Gallery, that purchase that proved that was meant to be.
Right.
But also,
I wouldn't have done it.
his passing changed you.
I wouldn't have done it if it hadn't happened.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gone into those swamps like that and retreated and you talk a lot about. I find photography much more than writing to be therapeutic. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that sounds like great therapy for you.
Right.
And so.
It was. Well, the Moonrise, one of my best sellers. That's the first one I took.
Yeah, I love that picture.
That's first one I took.
Mm-hmm.
And also the shutter didn't work. You heard that part of that story?
Yeah. And then one more thing was the remaining goals you've got. You're in your 80s now, and you're doing pretty well.
Actually, it's probably kind of simple. I'm trying to perfect the black and white digital. Learn how to use a black and white digital camera.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole learning curve. Also, I've been playing with infrared, which is also another learning process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw some of those on the wall today.
Yeah, some are good, some are bad. It's tricky. Mm-hmm. You don't want to get too much white. Might be a little too much. Always problem too.
Like too much perspective is giving you too much weight up there.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's dynamic, but is it too much? Is what you're saying. Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'm going to switch it to horizontal.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe. Who tightened this?
Oh, that would be probably Brad. He's good at tightening stuff. There we go. It's coming towards center right now. Oh, that's really good. Really good.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
And tripod is still looking good, so it's good.
That's going to be better. Might just be one shot.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. I like it. You got these major features, but then you got these sub ones that are all in a good spot. That's fabulous.
I'm going to take one and I'm going to check and see if it's in focus.
Yeah.
See, if I had my tape, I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I put it on three meters. Am I still at 3 feet? 3 meters?
Yep.
Okay. So now you see what I got here? Way up there.
Oh yeah.
So you take this one. Not sure if I do or not. I'm gonna try one like that.
Yeah.
A little less.
I think if you had it before, I loved the previous one, but it'd be good to make sure.
More of them. Up the Elkhorn.
Yeah, that'd be marvelous.
That was a nice tree that was here.
One of your friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Something good. Bother you.
I'm going to do one more. The right way. Up here, I can just bring it up a little bit. Then I can do a pan brush a little across. About 2 seconds timer. Yeah, that's going to be good. I like the way those clouds peeking up there.
Yeah. Little things are big things.
This is nice.
And still keeps the drama.
Yeah.